We are right now in the display in the exhibition of Atli Bollason. He's our fellow from the Goethe Institute in Copenhagen of the Nordic Exchange. Atli, you have been here for 3 months. What was your first big trip and what did you find?
Well, I guess my first big trip was quite crazy. I went to the huge flea market, it's like Agra Messepark.
Yeah.
And it was a huge, I mean, when I arrived, I saw booths, maybe 20, 30 booths, and I thought, oh, this is a pretty big flea market.
Yeah.
And I went around, I was looking for slides, I was looking for projectors, VCRs, televisions, yes.
Yes.
But then I went around the building and I saw that the flea market just extended almost for what looked like acres and acres.
It's the biggest one in Saxony.
Oof, it was huge. It was huge.
Yeah.
So it was a real treasure hunt for me actually, and I found a lot of stuff. And actually, the stuff that I found there and in different flea markets over those very first few weeks really formed the basis of what I was doing here.
You also had, you said, there were also adverts you used where you found more footage and things, and you also found things here at the Karl-Heinz.
Yes, definitely, in the Westflowmarkt, even like people that I met in the very first, I went to quite a few exhibitions in the first few days, and I met people, and as we started talking, I would tell them what I was doing. They would say, I have boxes of slides that I found on the street. You can have them or whatever. So they just sort of very randomly ended up in my possession.
Was it what you expected? What you found? Was there a lot of stuff from the GDR, for example? Was there imagery which was completely new to you? What did you find in these slides?
I didn't really know what to expect. I've done this a little bit before, collected slides, and I think they always give you a certain view of the place.
Yeah.
And here, for example, many boxes were summer holidays in Yugoslavia, which I guess was a very popular holiday destination for the DDR. Exactly.
Yeah.
I even found a box of slides, which I guess was it was from Grunau. It was the apartment blocks in Grunau, and even some celebrations, which maybe I guess this was like when they first opened Grunau. When they were cutting the ribbon and stuff like this.
It was a very prestigious architectural project.
No, so it was it was stuff like this, which definitely if I would have been in Paris or elsewhere, I would have found very different things. And I was in Lisbon for a while and collected some slides there, and it was a very completely different set of images for sure.
Yeah, you are showing your slides here.
Yes, basically, I guess I mainly made 3 pieces here, and they all come from almost like different parts of these treasure hunts. Like this comes from when I started working with the actual slide film. I started like cutting it up and trying to alter it, combine slides and stuff. So I ended up with a lot of empty slide frames, right? And I don't know, one night I was just fooling around with these slide frames in a more sculptural fashion, I guess. And I ended up with this grid, which is 16 by 9, which is the ratio of modern televisions. And then I have all this archival video footage that I had shot 10 years ago with no real purpose in mind, just to sort of document my own life, as people were doing with slide films, And those frames paired with this video content from 10 years ago became these sort of like magic animated slides in this piece. I also ended up with a lot of projectors. Some of them I altered. I would take out the lamps and replace them with strobe lights. And I showed a thing where we had the projector sort of drifting in and out of sync with these blinking lights. And then, these sort of collage pieces that I made where I was taking the older slides, some newer slides that I had shot myself, blending them together, even painting over to sort of indicate more, I guess, sort of like dreamlike or sort of more ambiguous time. And
painting actually became a part which you actively experimented here
Yes,
in residence.
yeah, for sure.
Was it because there are so many painters around, or was it just seeing what the other artists are working here in the, I would always already call you a collective.
Yeah.
Because you have been so closely cooperational.
Yeah. I think definitely, I mean, seeing the other painters here, but I think also I wanted to play with it just in part because Leipzig is famous, you know, for its painting scene.
Yeah.
I'm not a painter at all, and never dare call myself one. Actually, the very first paintings I made with my own hand, I made in this residency. I thought it was, I don't know, it was a way of just orienting myself with this place, a way of sort of almost in a humorous way reminding myself that I am an artist here and I'm here to do art. And of course, the first thing that springs to mind is painting. But yeah, I definitely went sort of roundabout ways of approaching painting for sure.
Was it fun to be in a residency and having your own space and just be outspaced of your daily life?
Yes, it was absolutely amazing actually. It was, for me, it was so liberating and really just having the space and the company which all revolves around art and art making and just the time, you know, to not think about anything else, not think about really, you know, your family or bills or anything, just sort of freezing all of that for a while. Delving into this, and of course knowing that you know life awaits you. But I think definitely this will really impact how I prioritize things in my life from now on. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yes.
I heard Marta Melita also enjoyed very much this being out and having this possibility of having exchange with so many people.
Yes.
And the conversations and the exchange about thoughts and ideas.
Yes.
And just on a sort of pick-up level.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're in your space and then you come out and you have the possibility immediately to connect.
This was really, actually, this was worth a lot because, I mean, you're working on something, maybe you think you have a good idea, you know, you're maybe like feeling ecstatic or things are going well and you can go out and you can like go into the next room like, hey, can you go, I want to show you something, can you come over? And people would come over and we would, you know, discuss what was going on and how we could improve it or how it, or when it was really succeeding. And just having access to the quite different mindsets, I guess, and sort of like different disciplines within the arts. Really, it was great.
Iceland, Denmark, Indonesia, Ukraine.
Yes.
So it's quite a wide range.
Yes, definitely. And then even the first one, Cyprus as well. So
exactly.
It was really ticking off a lot of boxes.
Yeah. And can you tell me a little bit, as we are speaking about communication and language, can you explain a little bit about this project here?
Yeah, this is in a way maybe an ongoing thing. The slide stuff was like brand new, but this is more a continuation maybe of a project that I had begun before. So I have this thing, I'm attracted to noise, to video noise. What I like about noise is that it's a message without content, right? It's a message that has to be carried, but it is carrying nothing but itself. Yeah. So it's I think it's a very pure way to approach the medium. Yeah. So I start only from noise, and in the case of video or broadcast television, the noise is these ants or the snow. We call it snow in Icelandic. Yeah. So I start only from there. And then using sort of like early VJ technology, like from the early 90s, I start to distort the snow. In simple ways, I will zoom into it, I will slow it down or freeze it, speed it up. And when I start applying these distortions, I'll see that the snow isn't just black and white, but there's actually a lot of color happening.
Creates imagery.
Yes, it starts creating shapes. Yeah. So I would record the distortions, and then I would distort, record, over and over, until I had these tapes that are full of distorted snow. Yeah. I mean, you can see remnants of the snow here, but in the end, I mean, you also see sort of radial shapes and these diagonal lines and stuff. So in the end, when I think I have something interesting to look at, I sit down with my camera, I would photograph these images, and then to sort of break free of this electronic signal chain, I sent the photos off to China, to professional painters who, usually would paint pets or wedding portraits, these very realistic oil paintings. And I have them send back interpretations of these distortions, which then becomes, I guess, the next layer of distortion. And here we have like 3 paintings that are that came back from China. And I mean, this is not really the end. This is just where we are at now in the signal chain. Yeah, it's a process. It's ongoing. This is so maybe I would re-photograph these, make them into 3D models. Like who knows? The noise continues, right?
It's an interesting translational process.
Yes, it very much.
One language gets translated by someone else into his language, sent back, and then translated again. So that's a really interesting transfer.
Yeah, it's like a game of broken telephone. A little bit.
It's like a game. I like this playfulness in this piece.
Good, happy to hear that.
So thank you so much, Atli, for your explanations and giving us an insight in your work process.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
Hope you're coming.
Yes, thank you for having me. This was great. Yes, this is really good.